Money talks.
Here comes the money.
We are baking bets and we are making money. And to be honest with you folks, last week, we didn't make that much money. No, Abu Dhabi was very bad to us. I mean, people in Abu Dhabi have money. They should have just gave some to us, but they didn't. It's not what happened. I mean, a lot of underdogs did cash on the night. And we did have some of them, but we didn't have them all. And I can't even brag about the few wins, because when you go even on the night, you're not making money in the UFC. You got to have those 10-win cards that we have been having lately. But you got to move on. Greener pastures ahead. Because now we're back in the Apex, UFC, Albazi versus Taira. Now, for the longest time, I think I was the last guy singing the praise of the Apex. I think I was the last one on the Apex ship. But after 7, I think, events in a row outside of the Apex, I don't know if I can go back. But we gotta. So we're going to go UFC Fight Night. Let's get our picks. Let's get back on track. All right, kicking off the whole show, we got the ladies at strawweight with Taira Vieira Rodriguez at minus 175 going against Caitlin Sosa. Now, Rodriguez is known for her aggressive striking and her willingness to get into a brawl. She's coming off a UD loss to Josephine Knutson in December of 2024. So she's trying to turn things around. She's trying to get back on the right track. Sosa, she's tough girl. She throws with a lot of power. She's coming in off a split decision loss to Angela Hill, which a lot of people thought she won. I thought that Angela Hill was due a split decision win after a while. So, yeah, they're both looking to kind of turn things around. But I think that overall, Rodriguez has crazy forward pressure, a lot of volume. I think that's going to be key here. I think she's going to keep throwing at her, wear Sousa down a little bit, maybe even mix in a takedown here or there and get the nod from the judges at the end. So at the end of the day, we're going to go with Taira Vieira Rodriguez to get the win. Over in the flyweights, we got Rafael Estav at minus 500 versus Felipe Boons at plus 340. This is another one where the odds are screaming at you. Estav is a huge favorite, and there's a good reason. He's a high-level prospect. He's wicked well-rounded. He's been dominating opponents lately. His last fight, he had a unanimous decision win over Jesus Aguilar, who at some points people thought Jesus Aguilar could be something in the flyweight division. And Estav just dominated him, right? Boons is a tough guy. He got experience. He's coming off armbar submission win against Jose Johnson, which Jose Johnson, super tall flyweight. A lot of people had him as a big prospect. So these are two guys coming off of big wins. But I'm going to go with Estav, right? There's a reason he's a minus 500 favorite. I think he's going to have a dominant victory, maybe even a finish. Sometimes flyweights, it's hard to get a finish in there. But I definitely see him dominating this fight. We're in the middleweights with Rodolfo Vieira, the BJJ black belt phenom, going against Gore. Now, I don't like this fight at all. Because when Vieira has shown that he can't get the takedown, it's been not good for him in the UFC. And then Gore, I didn't think he was that good when I watched that season, The Ultimate Fighter. He just didn't show a lot. And everyone's been talking about his crazy one-punch power. His only wins in the UFC have been by submission, right? And he had a nasty one in his last fight against Josh Fremd. He almost ripped his entire head off his shoulders. But I don't know, man. I'm going to go with Vieira. I do think he's able to get to the ground. And this is another one. Like a couple weeks ago when I went against Prado. I don't think this is a bet for Vieira. I don't think I'm betting on Vieira in this fight. I think I'm just betting against Gore. So I really wouldn't touch this one. But if I had to make a pick, I'm going to go with Rodolfo Vieira. Minus 192. Closing out the prelims with some bantamweight action. Rinya Nakamura, the cousin of Shinsuke Nakamura, is a minus 350 favorite, and he's going against Nathan Fletcher at plus 255. Nakamura is a wrestling machine, right? His takedowns are unbelievable. And he's not a guy that's hunting for submissions the whole time. Like, he might get you. If he gets your back, he's going to submit you. But he's mostly just trying to keep control, keep position, really. You know what I mean? And he's going against Nathan Fletcher, who's also primarily a grappler, where Nakamura in his last fight, the guy he fought was able to keep on the feet the entire time. Nakamura needed to get it to the ground. He didn't even attempt to get it to the ground. I don't know if he was gassed. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't even shooting for takedowns. And Fletcher, I don't think is going to be able to stay on his feet. And even if he is going to be able to stay on his feet, I don't think he's going to be able to do much. I think that Nakamura, his striking is going to be much improved. He's he's a guy that I think is going to be a prospect in this division. I really do. So I'm going to go Nakamura. I'm very confident in the pick. I think he is going to probably finish Nathan Fletcher. Like, he doesn't always look for the finish, but I think coming off a loss, he has a lot to prove, and he's going to prove it. We're kicking off the main card at featherweight. We got Danny Silva at plus 340 versus Kevin Vallejos minus 500. This is another one. The odds are the odds for a reason. Vallejos has been smoking guys. He's been smoking guys. He's coming off a knockout win relatively recently. I think it was in maybe March or April. But yeah, he's been an absolute stud lately. Silva, every time I'm watching these guys, I'm trying to find a path of victory for Silva, and I just don't see it anywhere. I think Vallejos is going to dominate this one, probably get an early night, maybe be at the press conference with a slice of pizza before the main event even gets out there, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to go with Vallejos in this one, maybe early. Some welterweight action with one of my favorite fighters in history, the Haitian sensation, Neil Magny, going against Albazi Zaleski dos Santos. Now, I will tell you this about Neil Magny and why he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I am great at betting on Neil Magny fights. I don't think I've ever had a Neil Magny fight wrong, including the one against Mike Malott. I bet on Neil Magny to win. It wasn't looking good early, but he ended up finishing him. I have a good feel on him. Where Jessica Andrade is the complete opposite. Every time I bet on her, she loses. Every time I bet against her, she wins. Neil Magny, when I bet on him, he wins. When I bet against him, he loses. And sorry, Neil, I don't think we're going to get the win today. He's coming off of a couple round 1 TKO losses. I think the chin is gone. I really do. And Dos Santos just knocks people out, man. He's a savage. Like, remember what he did to Benoit Saint-Denis, right? He's just an animal, man. He's an animal, and I think he's finally starting to put it all together, right? I think he's starting to figure it all out, and I'm just thinking that Dos Santos is going to drop him. Dos Santos might finish him. I'm sorry, Neil. I love you. You made me a lot of money in the past, but we ain't rolling with you. Make me some money again, kid. All right, back to the ladies. We're in the bantamweight division. Rosa minus 174 versus Nora Canoli. Rosa's a gritty fighter, dude. You know what I mean? She brings pressure. She got good cardio. She always comes forward. Her last fight was a UD loss against Alan Perez, where Perez really, really outgrappled her. And I think that was the difference. And that's not saying that Rosa's a bad grappler. It's just, I think Perez is just so dominant in that area. And I think that is going to be flipped in this one, right? Both the girls are good strikers. They like to mix it up a little bit, but Nora has terrible takedown defense, and Rosa is well-rounded enough where I think if it's not going great on the feet, or even if it's even enough on the feet, I think she's going to realize, all right, I got to take this girl to the ground. I got to beat her up a little bit. So we're going to go with Rosa here. The slight favorite. I think that she has enough to pull this out. Probably a decision. Back to one of the deepest divisions in the UFC. We're at the lightweight with Elvis Brener plus 240 versus Estevan Ribovics minus 278. Brenner's tough. You know, he got good submission games. He's not afraid to throw down. He's coming off a TKO loss to Joel Alvarez not that long ago. And then Ribovics, El Gringo, is a powerhouse, dude. He's a striker. He has knockout power. And it's crazy because when he first came to the UFC, or maybe it was in before he was in the UFC, a lot of submissions. And now this guy's just coming out and just knocking people out cold. I think that's what's going to happen again here. Maybe not a knockout, but I do think he has enough to really beat Brener up a little bit. I think that Ribovics is getting hyped up. You know what I mean? He has that big win at the Noche card. I think there's a lot of people who are buying Ribovics stock right now, and I'm one of them. So we're going to go with Estevan Ribovics to get the win in this one. We're back in the lightweights with Mateusz Rebecki, or the Ribist. I thought it was a pretty good nickname. He's going against Chris Duncan. Now, this is one that I think is way too tough to call to put money on, especially with the odds being what they are, right? Rebecki's a minus 200, where Duncan's plus 170. But again, I'm here to make picks, right? I like the favorite in this one. I'm going to go with Rebecki, but I don't see him dominating this one. I think Duncan is a good fighter. I really do. The dude from Scotland, right? They call him the problem for a reason. He has power. He has good submission. He has that like Scottish grit. You know what I mean? Like, what's the name? We always see with Paul Craig. Sometimes he gets rocked, but he still finds a way to finish the fight. This is going to be a scrap, man. This is going to be a scrap. I do think that Rebecki does get the win, but I think there's going to be moments for both guys in this one. Again, I would not touch it, but we have to make picks around here. I'm going with Rebecki. Maybe he wears him down, gets the W. But I think this is a great fight, man. This is the, if I had to have a pre-show fight of the night, this is it. I'm very excited for this one. All right, now it's time for the main event of the evening. We got a banger at flyweight with Albazi, a legitimate submission artist with some sneaky striking, going against Taira. Taira is the minus 295 favorite, with Albazi coming back at plus 200. Now, I do think Taira is a beast. I really do. He is coming off a split decision loss against Brener, but Royval's a dog. Royval's a stud. He's a vet. He's been in there for a while. I thought it might have been too much too soon for Taira, and it was, right? He did get some takedowns. He did get some control time, just didn't do enough with it. And it was a 5-round fight. So even though he had 12 minutes of control time, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because when they were on the feet, he was getting pieced up a little bit. But I think that this fight is a good matchup for him, right? You got another grappler. You have another guy who's going to be willing to grapple with you. Where Taira's so long. And another thing that people haven't been talking about, where early UFC, it was how American wrestling was so dominant. The Japanese wrestling scene's on fire right now. Not the amateur wrestling scene, the Olympic wrestling scene. It's on fire right now. I mean, like, right, it has so much momentum. It's getting so good. So now these guys who typically from Japan were usually strikers or, you know, the pure submission artists, now you're getting a lot of wrestlers from Japan, all right? And I think Taira is a shining example of that. I do think that he is going to have enough to beat Albazi. I don't love the odds. I don't like that he's such a big favorite, but that's who we're picking. That's who we're rolling with. We're going with Taira in the main event. That's what we're rolling with. All right. Like I said, after last week, we didn't have a good week. I get it. Okay. I lost with you. But this week, we're back on the wagon. We're back on the right track, even though we're in the Apex. I hate it. I used to love it. I used to love hearing every punch, hearing every kick, hearing the coaches, but now I just want to hear the fans. I want to hear the roar of the crowd. I want to hear the roar when the Bacon Bets parlay hits, and it's going to hit this week because we're going with Rinya Nakamura at minus 350 going against Nathan Fletcher. Like I said, I like Nakamura a lot in this fight. I think that Fletcher also being a grappler kind of lends itself right to Nakamura's strong suit. We're going to go with Estav Rebecki. I like Rebecki a lot, even though I do think Elvis Brener is tough. I don't think he's tough enough to survive Rebecki. And then we're going to go with Rafael Estav. Even though Boon is a tough guy as well, he is a tough guy. I got to give all these guys their credit. I think Rafael Estav is just on another level. I think he is on a roll right now. There's a reason he's a minus 500 favorite. We're going to put all those together, probably get even money back, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but that's what we're going to do. Those are our picks. This week, we're going to be back to making money because we're always going to be Bacon Bets.
Money talks. Here comes the money.